Hello, I am Alec Muhoho. Welcome to our other edition of Find Clarity. Our topic today is how to overcome boredom. What is boredom? What are the causes of boredom? Why do we get bored? And how to overcome boredom. Now, what is boredom? You and I can quickly maybe say what boredom is, and we may not even know how to define the word boredom, but the feeling is there. I can summarize it according to my understanding. Boredom is when you lose interest in whatever you are doing in life or in life itself. Boredom is common. Let's begin with schools. Those who have been in school understand what boredom is. You go to class, a certain teacher talks for 40 minutes or 1 hour, and that 1 hour seems to be forever, and you are somehow sleeping and you're not paying attention to what the teacher is saying because you feel bored. And when the results come out, you find yourself having done badly in school. It's also possible to be bored at your workplace. Maybe you are working somewhere and the work has become so monotonous and you end up waking up, dragging yourself, not feeling like you have to go to work, but just because you want to pay the bills, you find yourself going to work when actually in your hearts of heart, you don't feel like going to work. You can also feel bored in a relationship. There are people who are bored in marriages, for example. There are people who are bored when they're having conversations with their friends. They lose interest, they're not listening. They simply are waiting for their chance to tell you their story rather than to hear your story. Now, let's ask ourselves this question. Why do we get bored? What are the actual causes of boredom? There are many, but in this program I'll mention a few that I hope that can resonate with you. One of the things that makes people bored in whatever they do is they lack information and knowledge in that very thing that they are doing. That is one. And they are also not willing, or they have not found a better way of learning. The second reason of boredom is familiarity. The law of familiarity sets in. You know, when you stay around something you become familiar to, you become bored. For instance, if you stay in one town for 20 years without even going 10 kilometers from where you are, definitely you'll have high level of boredom and you lack interest in doing anything. So familiarity causes boredom. Also lack of variety. Just take for an example, if you eat one kind of food from January to January, then you'll be bored with that meal. So as human beings, we are simple, at the same time we are complex because our needs are many and we need variety of resources or things to make us have interesting life. And also boredom, you can also realize that boredom is caused by lack of imagination or creativity. Now, we live in a technological advanced country. Many people think that for them to overcome boredom, it is only when they have a certain amount of money. I know of people who have lots of money. Even if you had $1 trillion, if you are not careful, you'll end up being bored. So you need to be creative to be able to overcome boredom. Now, how do we overcome boredom? I'll give a few simple exercises. Whenever you are bored, boredom sometimes is caused by idleness, having no goals at all, having no clear goal of what you want. We are not saying about you to know the whole process of how your goal will be, but just to have an idea of what you want to accomplish can cause you to be bored. Now, how do we overcome boredom? Quickly, we can say that do not stay on familiar ground. If something becomes too familiar, change it. Maybe change the environment you are in. Travel from one place to another. Take a walk. Go and experience nature. Go and meet different people. Remember, even the strangers you meet, you can have a conversation with them. Ask them questions. They'll tell you stories of their lives that will spark your interest and enthusiasm within yourself. There's no reason why anyone should have a boring life. If you listen to people, you are likely going to have a lot of stories that will spark interest in you. Have a different meal from different places. And please don't, I can hear some of you are telling yourselves, what is he talking about? Unless I have money. You may not have money, but you can still make your life interesting. With minimum resources you can spend. Don't allow yourself to be bored. Also, physical exercise has been discovered as a way of overcoming boredom. You can run, you can swim, you can hike, you can climb mountains. If you do that, you'll not be bored in life. Have you realized that children and youths tend to have lots of energy, and they don't just sit, they don't like sitting, they make a lot of movement. And somebody once correctly said that ships are safe in harbors, but that's not what they were built for. Even we human beings, we are safe in our comfort zone, but that's not what God created us to do. We are created to be always on the move. We are created to be co-creators. We are created to be active. We are created to look for friends. We are created to turn strangers into friends. We are created to do a lot. For people who love reading books in libraries, not for exams, but reading for the sake of acquiring knowledge, acquiring information, acquiring wisdom, acquiring new attitude, you are not likely to be bored. If you are a scientist and you are trying to research on something, it will help you to overcome being bored. Have you ever asked yourself a question that why is it that some people who are multi-millionaires, they keep working for 16 or 17 hours a day? What I have found out is that those people who seem to work for long hours, it's not because they are more hardworking than you and me. It is simply because they have found something that they are passionate and they love doing, and they find themselves doing it for hours and hours, and therefore they'll have no time of being bored. Now, for those people who have retired, I request you to start today, start now, to take action, not to have a boring life, sitting on a couch, watching television day in, day out. One of the things that will make us more bored is to sit on the screen mindless, without an intention of asking yourself, what I'm watching, is it going to help me to grow? Is it going to teach me something new? Don't just watch anything just for the sake of watching. Go and watch something, maybe to learn dancing, to learn playing an organ or piano, to learn. It is you who knows what sparks your interest inside you. So for those who are parents, if you find your child not interested about schooling or about academic work, it simply means that they have not found a way of finding their studies interesting. Spice their studies. If you want me to eat a certain food, you don't just give me food as plain as it is. Maybe you put some spices that will make me enjoy the meal. Find a way you spice the studies so that the children can enjoy their studies. And if you keep on trying to make them study and they are not interested to study, try to get them something that they are passionate, something that they have a hobby in, and make them experts into that hobby. It is stated that it takes 10,000 hours for someone to be an expert. That means like 5 to 7 years for you to be an expert. You only need 1 hour a day to do what you love, and you become an expert. 6 to 7 years. Therefore, find a way of getting your children interested, yourself interested in something that you can be an expert. If you are doing something that is hard and you are not interested, deceive your mind that you're already interested. Act in your mind that I am interested. Maybe, but if you keep on seeing that you are not interested, then it means that line is not yours. You have to change quickly. So as I finish the subject of how to overcome boredom, I want you to start today, start now, to begin keeping your mind interested in things that you have always wanted to do and you are not doing. Ask yourself this question: what interests me? What am I passionate about? What am I obsessed about? And if you find it, do it day in, day out. Turn your work into play. Turn life into pleasure. Turn life into an enjoyment, and you'll have no reason to be bored. I want to thank you for watching. Please, I request you to comment, share, and subscribe in our Find Clarity channel. You are once with your host, Alec Muhoho. I wish you a lovely day.